used to love me like a sister. You used to hold me like a friend. We used to share a master bed. And we used to...
Hello and welcome to Conscious Talk, where we come here to talk consciously about all kinds of spiritual understandings. And today we're going to talk about root chakra. The root chakra in the esoteric form is what Sis is going to talk about, and I'm going to chime in with the human design. So go for it, Sis.
So yes, y'all probably be like, Southern, what's going on with the background? Look, I'm playing with it, okay? I want to give y'all some scenery. Sis giving y'all some scenery today too. Beautiful sun, but it's kind of gloomy outside today and it's raining, so it came back in. So let's start with the root chakra or the root center. When you hear that, people hear security, people hear foundation, grounding, and stability. Everything that we talk about in Conscious Talk has a light and dark side. And to understand that is to understand self. So when you want to tap into you and to understand the root chakra, understand the aspects of what it ties into, what I say about that, the emotions, what are you feeling? I like to call it the root evaluation, where you're sitting down with self, evaluating self. We see fears and anxieties get trapped in this area, in this chakra, in this energy center. And other benefits is our stability, our foundation. So when this energy center isn't stable, when it's not in security, like you're not secure with yourself, or you don't feel, protected, you don't feel safe, your root chakra will be unaligned, it'll be imbalanced. I would say this, ways that I noticed when my root chakra was imbalanced was my anxiety, was my fears about a few things that I had, unresolved issues. A lot of people know the root chakra to hold ancestral intelligence as well. So some of those things were ancestral. I did my root evaluation on myself. What is it that I'm fearful of? Why am I fearful of this? Why do I have anxiety about this? Why do I feel insecure? Why do I feel unstable or imbalanced? I was able to sit with myself and do that and come to some conclusion, come to some understanding what it was, be honest with myself. There are a few things that I've done, and that is very beneficial to help you align the root chakra. Most importantly, grounding, because we all know grounding is something that's very important. Grounding and the roots in general, they're the earth element. So, of course, getting out there in nature and meditation. I have a meditation that I would do where I would sit and meditate on the color red of the root, seeing like a lovely, soft glow, just illuminating in that area, pulsating, generating vibrational healing energy to help uplift and align that chakra. I got into some action, gotten physical, go out running, exercising, yoga, stretching, swimming, got creative. My art, tapping into that, got inspired. Just like, I went to an event this weekend, I went to this downtown art place where there was this shop, they sold candles, and just being there, seeing that inspiration, that excited my root chakra. I eat my colors, I eat my chakras. So, I would eat things that are red. I would drink things that were red that help. And I still do to this day. To balance that out. Just so you guys know, when one energy center is unbalanced, it unaligns the rest. That's with all of them, because they don't work individually, they work in unison. So to balance your root chakra, these are a few things that I've done that I suggest. Another thing that helped me to balance my root chakra is also understanding my astrological chart. Sis here did my human design, and she showed me the information needed for me to see for each of my chakras, and she was able to share with me off the knowledge she gave me just off my own human design. I was able to understand how to further align it myself, because I was able to see also where I lacked in places, not just in my human design, but as well as my birth chart. And it also helped me to understand me even more internally. So as we continue, I want to go ahead and pass it over to Sis so you guys can have a better understanding of the human design portion of the root chakra. Sis.
Okay, so not to confuse anybody based off the chakra system that she's speaking about in the human design, they will line in some areas, but in the human design, it shows you if your root center is open or defined. And a defined root center is security, motivation, energy, stability, grounded. You work good in chaotic or fast in chaotic situations. You can keep a cool head. You're not going to have some of the, let's put it like this, you're grounded. Basic, simple, easy. We'll keep it at that situation. Now, when you're in a undefined situation, it looks a little bit different. In an undefined situation, you could feel not grounded, needing to ground more often, needing to, I'm going to give you some examples. I'm trying to pull it up. You feel rushed or pressured if somebody with a defined center or a defined root center is talking to you about, hey, let's go here, or hey, let's do that, or hey, I like this. You'll feel rushed or pressured. It'll let you know. If you feel that way from like your significant other or a friend or something like that, it lets you know that your root is undefined and theirs is defined. Yes.
Sis, when you said that, it brought up an example of an experience I had with a counterpart, with a previous partner. And I remember I would always like to sit in the car when we would go somewhere. After I get ready, I would always like to sit in the car. I'm just chilling. I would always like to sit in the car. But, he felt with me doing that made him feel like I was rushing him. And I couldn't, understand or see why, he felt that way, because that wasn't the case. I was just in the car chilling, whenever you're ready, just come on out. The car is ready.
I wouldn't be able to tell you about him. But if you felt that way from him, if he said, oh, I like this, or you feel pressure to buy it, or feel like he's asking for it, or if he says it's pressure and rushing, but the person who's undefined feels it from the person who's defined.
Makes sense.
And so, like in an instance, we could use us because mine is defined and yours is undefined in your human design. That there could be times where you feel that way. You could, it's pressure because the root is a pressure point. So you would have to find your own balance, your own grounding, your own understanding, but that energy. So in a human design, when a root center is undefined, you're pulling energy from somebody else. So the definition comes from the person you're with if you feel defined in those areas. So if you come into my presence and you feel like you're more grounded, and when I leave, that energy is not sustainable. So the root center in that situation means that you would have to learn to sustain the energy. And if you're around people who have a root center that's defined, you'll feel rooted, grounded, and understand, because you'll pull their energy in. And then when they leave, that energy leaves with them. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that's how I look at the centers when it comes to that. I follow the human design more than I follow any other system when it comes to energy centers.
Not even the birth charts as well, sis.
So of course, when we're talking about energy centers, I fall in on the human design.
Okay.
When we're talking about the planets, that's the whole person.
Okay.
So the birth chart is the whole person and how they align to those planets in their actions, the way they move, the things they want in their life, how they can get them. Your human design will tell you that, but I don't have that level of understanding in human design. So when we talk about chakra centers and we talk about energy centers that are open or need definition, then I go to the human design and can see where a person is.
That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. Definitely makes sense. Makes sense. I can definitely
see. But they coincide with each other. One is just two different forms of looking at different understandings. I'm not gonna really, because I haven't studied both of them together, I'm not gonna go to your birth chart and say, oh, you have an undefined root center. I'm just gonna go to the human design and be like, okay, you're undefined in this area. Do you feel like this, and this? Do you have these, feelings when certain people come around you? Do you feel more drained? Do you know when to, do these things? I can do that based off of your human design. When I go into the birth chart, then I can say, okay, this is what you look like. This is this is that, this is the other. Yeah.
Now with an undefined one, they can always define it themselves, right?
It takes work. Yeah, it takes work. And so once again, I'm not at a proficient level in human design. I only have 2 levels, and those are the 2 lowest levels of certifications in human design. Can you define them? In all actuality, your planets will define each one of them in different times of your life. So depending on what planet is traveling through that area, you might have the definition and then it might go away.
Okay, that makes sense. That definitely makes sense. And I feel like when you say work, the work is generally, and I know we ain't on the level at yet, but just hearing it, I feel like the work would literally be you doing the inner work, the shadow work and stuff like that. That's what it sounds like. That
sounds like it's on your level. That would be dealing with your root chakra. On my end, there's actual classes that you can take, and people can communicate with somebody who works with human design, because human design has different techniques that they work with to help you to understand. So it's not about really aligning them or defining them. It's about understanding how to deal with it. You see what I'm saying? So it's like if you have a partner and every time they speak to you, you feel pressure because you have an undefined root center. If you understand that, then when they speak to you, you know not to be pressured because they're not pressuring you. It's all in working with it instead of trying to define it, because who you are is who you came here to be.
That's true. That's definitely true.
So if you can work with the energies and understand your energies, you don't have to change them. You just have to change your understanding.
I can see that. Touche. I can definitely see that. I mean, I look at it as this. Are we really changing it? Or are we just maybe, because at some point I did feel I was out of alignment. And then in order for me to get back in alignment, I had to, do some work to adjust and get back to, that form. Did I really change it, or did I just adjust the wave? You know what I'm saying, sis? If that makes sense.
So to me, the way I would take it is that you learn to work with it. You're not really changing it. For the simple fact is that who you came here to be is who you're going to be. Right. With all the different programs and things that other people put on us, when we know who we are and how to deal with who we are, then we learn to maneuver our own energy. So if you have an undefined root center, in my case, it's not bad. But if you were to come up against somebody who doesn't know you or you don't understand them, you would feel pressure in that situation, not knowing. But right. Once you know, you say, oh, okay, well, then I don't have to feel pressure or rushed, or I can ask clarifying questions to feel if I need to, are you asking me? Are you trying to, push me to do this? Are you rushing me? You know, and then once you get those clarifying answers, then you know how to work with the energy. So are we really changing ourselves, or are we just learning to work with who we are and what was given to us while we're here on this planet?
That's a good question. And then all of these tools could just be different forms of getting there. Just we all just see it in a different perspective or a different light. We may have the same understanding, but like you said, if our Mercury and our Sun ain't in the same place, it's not going to make sense. But I get what you're saying. So yeah, I feel like it's just more so tools to help us evolve, like you said, to evolve into who we're here to be. So yeah,
just learn how to work with your own energy and be okay with it. If you're changing, then what are you changing for? Are you changing to fit into somebody else's pattern, or are you changing to fit into yours because you don't have to change? You just have to learn to work with it. So there's not really a change. You already came in with the energy you came in with, and learning to work with it and not trying to fit into anybody's box.
Yes.
When we change, we're changing for something. Are we changing to fit into a box, or we changing because something's not working in our life? Because a lot of times what's not working isn't supposed to work. You're trying to force it. And so if you're trying to force it, why are you forcing it? Right. Because somewhere, some back in some situation, somebody told you you needed something, and you took that as, okay, well, they're telling me I need it, so maybe I need it, so I need to make some changes. But we came in with the blueprints that we came in with, and all we need to do is learn how to work those blueprints.
Yep, basically, sis, basically, which is why I can just see it. Kids should definitely learn that. That should definitely be something that they learn, in their earlier life, to understand themselves, their own blueprint. So they learn how to work with their own energy. There you learn emotional intelligence. You learn how to work with your own energies. You learn how to have communicative skills. You learn a lot just by this one blueprint.
So what I'll say that there are those that came here to, and those that came here to play, and for the ones who want to learn it.
Right.
And for those who just like I'm not going to say the veil being pulled over their eyes. What I'm going to say is there are those people who like to experiment with what they already have. And so they're going to come in and they're going to be like, I don't want to know that, because even I'm at a point where I'm questioning, do we need to know this? For the simple fact is how does it change the dynamic of the game that we came here to play?
That's true.
Because when you know something, it changes your viewpoint on it.
It does.
And then you're sitting here trying to figure out, okay, am I supposed to? Do I want to?
Yeah.
And we still have lessons we're supposed to learn. It's kind of the question, like if you were to ask somebody, do you want to know your death date, or do you want to just live life?
Yeah.
Most people would say, I'd rather just live life.
Yeah.
There'll be those few that say, I want to know.
Yeah.
But then does knowing change it?
That's a good question. Can we say, will it depend on the person?
It definitely will. It definitely will, because our minds create our realities. So are you going to mule over it and make it speed up? Or are you going to sit back and contemplate it and say, okay, I'm just going to live my life? But it's always going to be in the back until you learn what to do with it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I feel like I'm pretty sure there are people who have like, yeah, I want to know. Those are the people who be like, yeah, I know that's the day I'm graduating. I'm getting up out of here and I can get on my jet to holiday. And they're probably in line right now to be some spirit guides or something like that at the moment. So that's my little mind envisioning that. But yeah, that's some brave shit though. That's some brave shit.
Well, your birth chart tells you all of that.
It does. It. We talked about.
But the funny thing is that you already know.
And it's back in the subconscious mind, and you don't think that you do, but it's there.
Most people know, they just
Don't remember.
know. We know everything that we need for ourselves because we came here with it.
Correct. That's correct.
But then with all the distractions that happen, go ahead.
It's just when you said that, when you said we came here with it, imagine when you started high school, they tell you the year that you start and they let you know, oh, this is the year you expected to graduate. When I heard you say that, that was the thought that came to mind when you said that.
Yeah, we come here with everything we need to know we already know. Our first mind gives us the things we already know. But we bypass the first mind for whatever reason, societal, family, all these other things. For some of us, we question it. Like I know when my mom used to give me a time limit on certain things that she wanted done, not basically like house stuff, but things that I needed to do out in my life, I'd be like, I don't feel like it's the right time to do it.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. And I was like, why is she telling me it needs to be done, but I don't feel like it's the proper time? And that's because my timing is different. But until you understand the first mind is the mind you should go with, you'll bypass it. That's why I said, don't try to do anything.
And I don't know if I told you, I said, I realized, it was some time ago, I realized my first thought was always the right thought.
Yes.
I sat with myself. It was always the right thought. It was just like, I was like, man, get out of here. Not listening to it. That's blasphemy. Like, that sounds ridiculous. But the whole time, even if it sounded ridiculous, it was the right choice.
Right. And a lot of things that we speak unconsciously, just talking, that's us telling ourselves what it is we're supposed to be doing in the first place. Very much so.
Very much so. I've done that typing, just typing and words.
You have a lot of earth placements. You definitely would.
But it was by mistake. And I'm like, what? Okay, well, let me pay attention to this because me trying to tell me something here. So
yes.
I'm looking at that. Yeah.
Yes, you would do it during your journaling.
Yep.
You would do it during your writing sessions. Yep. Because of all your earth placements, you're going to do it that way. Yes.
So sis, what does it look like for you with all your air placements?
It looks like communication. It looks like thought process.
Okay.
So it would be more of a fleeting thought that passes through my mind.
Okay. Oh, yeah. I can see that.
Yeah. A lot of air.
Okay.
It will be more mental, more internal because of all the air instead of more outward. So like you say, you talk about journaling often. And for me, it would just be me sitting in my process and I'll get a fleeting thought and be like, okay, I need to take note of that.
Yeah. That's exactly how it is when I'm writing. In the middle, I got the whole sentence in my head and something else happened. Like, girl, what? Let me go on and get down to the next line. I said something right here. Let me come back. Self, come back to the next entry. Sit on this. Making little notes like that in my journal and stuff like that.
Yes. Yeah. Your notes would be more structured, more understood, more in alignment, in a line. Like, do you use bullets or numbers or something like that?
Bullets.
Yep.
Yes.
Very earth. Yes. Very earth. Mine are scattered and all over the place. I'll write some on the front. It's funny because I'll have one thought and it'd be on one page and I might go to another book and put it there. I'll flip. So basically, if you read my journals, you have to be able to decipher them.
Yeah. I understand. I definitely get that. I remember you were sharing.
And that's if I write them down.
It makes sense, sis. I remember she came to my house. You had a journal. And I saw you had drew on some of the pages and then it stopped. I said, sis, what? You ain't, she said.
Oh, wait, hold on. I don't have journals. I have notebooks.
Well, yeah, notebooks. My bad.
And the reason why I say that is because they're really just notebooks.
Yeah.
And when I say that, I'll jot notes down on one page, jot notes down somewhere else. Yes, there are pictures, there are scribbles, there are ideas. If it's something that's profound, I'll date it, but the whole dots, you can even see my handwriting will change.
I can write with both hands, actually. And sometimes when I want to get real creative, especially with the thoughts, I like pens. I just want y'all to know a few things about me. I love crumbled apple pie and I love pens. You know? Okay, don't matter what color. Because if I want to get creative, I start color coding certain stuff. Okay.
Yep, very earthy. Very earthy.
I draw pictures in there too, give myself some animations and stuff like that, doing all of that stuff with my pens. I love it. I
have different colors.
Yeah.
I have different colors, but to me, it really doesn't matter if something comes to me, it's written down, but it's written down in a way that even sometimes I can't decipher it when I go back and read it. My handwriting changes. It never stays the same. That's why I said nobody will be able to really, my signature can't be recreated. And even if you do recreate it, I can look at it and tell it's not mine, it's yours. I've created my own alphabet. So yeah, I basically write in my own understanding.
And that's all that matters.
Yeah.
And that is all that matters. You said, you was like, you can tell when somebody try to copy your stuff. And I thought, the other day, my cousin had my keys. This has nothing to do with writing, but this thought just came up. He has my keys. I know the sound of my keys from a distance. And that's been something else I noticed a lot. It doesn't matter where I'm at, Walmart, anywhere. If I hear my keys off in the distance, I know the sound. Have that happened to you before? Or have you experienced that?
Nobody's ever had my keys.
Okay. Not even your daughters?
Nope. Nobody can drive my car.
I mean, just the hold it, sis, not even dead?
What they holding them for?
Touche. Point taken.
Yeah. Nobody's ever had my keys. Nobody can drive my car. We come and go together. Yeah, we move like a flock of birds.
As you should.
I know. I love it.
Good. You're the mother.
But coming back to your energy centers, don't beat yourself up. Mm-hmm. If you find that your energy centers in human design are undefined, and you're going to the chakra centers and you're like, I need to line these. In the human design, by aligning them, you learn to work with them. You learn to understand what's there, what's not there, why it's undefined. Use it to your advantage. Love the skin you're in. Soul, skin, everything. Even with your planets. I know we're in the age of Aquarius and everybody's talking about Aquarius. I'm starting to question the whole situation because not all Aquarius are built the same. No. Not all Aquarius have the same path. Not all Aquarius are. So don't worry about what the media and other people on TikTok, Instagram. It's not an Aquarius world. You just need to understand the Aquarius energy and learn how to work it for yourself at your advantage.
We all have it, actually. We have all the zodiac's energies within us. We do.
So some are stronger than others.
Yes.
You're stronger in, you'll be able to go and look at your personal planets and even your interpersonal planets and see where you may or may not have the actual placement with a planet in it, which makes it less as potent. But that doesn't mean that your other planets and other placements are not still available for you to utilize and understand because some of them, if you have an Aquarius or don't have an Aquarius placement, it might be a little bit challenging for you to work through the energy. But if you understand what's moving around you, you understand how to move through it.
Mm-hmm. Have your own little, what they call, scuba diving suit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Swim.
So learn to love you and who you are energetically, planetarily, and use that information to move through this world the way you're supposed to, because we're all here for a purpose, Aquarius or not. Yeah, because I'm kind of tired of people trying to jump on the Aquarius bandwagon.
Aquarius. What it's like to date an Aquarius? Well, Aquarius.
And I'm just sitting there and I'm like, I've met so many Aquarius that have just the sun sign or just the rising. And then you have Aquarius who have multiple placements. And it's kind of like, this is how an Aquarius loves. No, an Aquarius loves from their Venus. And if your Venus doesn't set an Aquarius, you're an Aquarius ego with a love of whatever else.
You would understand that by now here on Conscious Talk. We always talk about that. The energy is going to be different. Everybody want to be an Aquarius.
But do you think like an Aquarius?
Mm-hmm.
Do you when they put out these things, do you think like an Aquarius? Is your Mercury an Aquarius? Because there are Capricorns who think like an Aquarius, although it still has to filter through a Capricorn mind. Do you speak like an Aquarius? Because sometimes Aquarius speak in parables and people be looking at you like, do you love like an Aquarius? Is your Venus in Aquarius? Do you understand what that means? Or do you have the attitude of an Aquarius or the ego because your sun is in Aquarius and you're like, yeah, I'm an Aquarius, but so we all have different placements and different things. And some of these I'd be sitting back and I'd be like one man was talking about Aquarius and saying, oh yeah, Aquarius will cry like that. And I was like, what Aquarius?
We're not all the same. Like, hello, come on. My sis star here is Aquarius.
No, we're just airy.
Air. I'm Aquarius. As you can see, we have some similarities. We have some differences. We're different. Yeah. Not all the same.
Yeah, we're different. And I mean, once you know what Earth stands for and what you understand what Earth stands for and fire and water, then you'll start to understand the way the person moves. Also, how many cardinal signs, how many fixed signs, how many mutable signs. Once you start looking into that, you can understand, okay, this person is a natural leader. This person is a natural leader with alpha, indicators. This person is this way, this person's that way. So because I will analyze a person really quickly, like she says, I'm a lot of air. I'm going to analyze a person, and I'm glad that I know the planetary systems and the human design, because before I would analyze a person and be like, what the heck is going on with them? Yeah. Now I can say, I see this placement, or this human design attribute open, or this one closed. Do some people still puzzle me? Yes. But I question myself before I question the other person. Is it me or is it them? Is it me or is it them? And if it's me, I can fix it. If it's them, I just let it be. If it's too off, then I just keep my distance.
Shay, I agree to that. I definitely agree to that. I've said that several times. Okay. All right. You have a good one. Okay. Have a good one. I wish you well. I'm glad you give notice, because I don't give none. It's just that. It's just me speaking, sis, to the camera. I go ghost. They'll text, I ain't heard you from a while. I don't respond. Oh shit, I forgot to delete or block them. I've changed my phone number. I've changed my whole address. I say nothing.
See, I'm not going through all that. That's a lot.
Well, those were the moments I felt I needed a rebirth.
Right.
I needed a rebirth. So, and it felt great because, months later, came across a few people, and they was like, damn, we ain't heard from you in a while, like at the mall or something. We ain't heard from you in a while, you this, you that. And it's funny because I'm laughing at myself, with myself, and they were like looking for me this whole time. And I'm like, I've been here this whole time. I just got a new address. They're humorous because I said nothing. They knew where I was. And I was like, oh, okay, well, that's thoughtful of you. Well, you have to. Kept on going. You want to exchange information? No, I'm good, love. You have to.
You're sweet. You have a whole conversation. I'll look at you and keep walking.
Yes, I know. I know. I'm very, very much so.
I don't want to have nothing to do with this person. I'm not blocking you. That I will walk right past you. I will look dead at you. I had somebody try me. And she was like, don't you speak to me when you see me. Oh, you ain't said nothing but a thing. That's the easiest thing I could ever do. I walked right past her, looked her dead in her face, and did not part my lips.
As you should. And part of this interaction I have, sister, it really do depends on the energy. Just like old girl here, when she talked to you the way she did. Don't worry about it, love. It's okay. Yeah,
you don't have to worry about it. But it's funny. I don't have those interactions now. I understand me. I understand that we all go through something. If you're going through something, I can feel the energy. I can see it. You start telling on yourself, especially people who are not really communicative. When they talk, they start telling on themselves. Mm-hmm. And so at that point, I'd be like, okay, I acknowledge. I go on. I don't have really knowing your human design for me allowed me to understand what was open, what was defined. The things in me that are open, I don't know if I would want to define them.
And you said that before. You definitely said that before. And you also mentioned, in case anyone would like to know, if they have any other open, what you call it, centers, any other open centers, it's okay to have open centers. Could you elaborate on that some more, sis, just a little bit?
So some open centers allow you to have the freedom to be able to navigate. It's not sustainable energy. So when you're in it, so let's talk about the emotional solar plexus.
Okay.
The emotional solar plexus is one that I like being undefined in me. I don't know if I would care if it was defined, because when it's defined, they go through emotional waves throughout the day that need to be tracked. Because when your emotional solar plexus is defined,
that's right.
Not everybody. So they all move differently.
Okay.
When the emotional solar plexus is defined, they will have to track it to find out what their wave of attraction, wave of movement of emotions are throughout the day. Some hit them high highs and low lows. Some stay flatline unless you mess with something that's deep to them. But they still need to make decisions based off their emotions. People who have an undefined emotional solar plexus are basically empaths. You will come into an emotional energy, you'll feel it. The only thing is you have to decipher if it's yours or if it's somebody else's. So remove yourself from it.
Yeah.
And if it dissipates, it's not yours. I know how I like for my emotions to feel. So if I come into somebody else's energy and I start feeling, because it amplifies, it's not just, oh, I feel this energy, it amplifies it. So if somebody comes into my space and they're mad, I'm going to be angry because it amplifies.
Okay.
I like an open emotional solar plexus because it allows me to differentiate the energy of somebody's emotion and if I'm willing to deal with it.
I love that. I definitely love that, sister. Mine is definitely open.
But I like the fact that I don't have too many. I only have 3 undefined energy centers. And those 3 are the ones that I'm privy to. But I went through all of them and I thought about it. Would I want this to be defined in me? No. I don't want to be a defined head center because I like being open-minded. I like being able to change my mind. I like being able to say, I can see your point of view, but I can see your point of view, and I can see your point of view, and I can see your point of view. And some people would say, oh, well, that's wishy-washy. You're not structured. But it also...
I don't see it that...
I understand, but what I'm saying is some people would see it that way. And I like it because it allows me to see different points of view from different parts of people, or being able to play different points of view through my head. I like that.
Yeah.
But it's not sustainable. So when I walk away from it, but I can get other people's information. So say you have a defined energy center and I come into your understanding and you get ready to start a business, I'll get an understanding about businesses and I might start rattling it off to you.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
And I tell people this isn't for me because I'm not about to use this. This got to be for you. So with the open energy centers in certain places, it gives you benefits to those. And I like the ones that are open for me because they work well for me and I know how to understand them. I look at so many human designs now that when I see other placements, I'd be like, yeah, I like that for them, but I wouldn't want that for me.
Because you know you are you. You love how you are, basically.
Well, that, and also knowing that I don't want to accept everybody's energy in every area.
Ending of what it is too, as well.
Yeah, because energetically, if I'm taking in all of your energy when you're around me, then how am I using my own energy when this energy is not sustainable?
Yeah, that was something I had to learn. Allowing people to come into my home, giving them a place to stay, not having that knowledge at the time of understanding energies, but I understood, I could feel when something was off, and I'm just like, now this ain't my energy. I don't know whose it is, but it ain't mine, but that motherfucker hit me. Okay, it's not my energy. I like to smile, I like to play, I like to laugh. Not saying I don't have aspects where my energy is not up. Okay, those are the moments where I have self-reflective moments where I tap into my dark side and stuff. But overall, I like my energy to be peaceful. I like stillness, and feeling somebody else's energy in my home. It definitely destroyed me mentally a little bit as well as physically, because I didn't.
It would.
And yeah, because
you have a lot of undefined energy centers, which means that you're taking in a lot of energy from a person, which means that not just the energy itself, because they could be in a somber mood, but you've amplified it in your human design. And this is only according to your human design. With so many open energy centers, you would be a person that would either have to be with somebody who has understanding of that. I need some space because I need to clear this energy. But every time you come back into that energy, you're going to feel it. You would have to be very knowledgeable about your sacral, because if you're sleeping with somebody who has a defined sacral, you're not going to get adequate rest at night. So these are things that I like for people. I like that for you. If you like it for you, you see what I'm saying? But would I trade them? No.
Yeah. And I learned, how to protect myself and understand it, after getting the knowledge, after you, did my human design for me and shared it with me. And I was like, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes a whole lot of sense. Okay, self, now, what do we do to balance this for self? What do we do to protect self? Start to make sure that we don't, because I soak shit up like a sponge. What do we do to not do that? Because I want to be in my own energy. I want to be in my own space, and it, myself gave me the nitty gritty. A lot of, you got to cut these people and places and things off. You got to sit down with self. You got to have some strong self-reflection. Be honest, like did the deep dark shadow work and everything, like snotting and crying and everything that needed to be done, because it was there, but it was needed. It was definitely needed. So very well learned lesson from that. And also it taught me spiritual hygiene as well. Energy, spiritual hygiene in general. I understand that now. And I continue to get the knowledge thus to this day, especially with sis continuing to share what she's been learning. Hey sis, I learned this. I'm like, girl, what you done learned this time?
Something new every day.
Something new every day. Something new every day.
So yeah, I like that. People just have to learn and understand, and don't take my word for it. Don't take sis' word for it. Go out and decipher the knowledge for yourself, gather the knowledge for yourself, get the wisdom behind it and understand, because the more I'm starting to see, there are cliches that are starting to happen, and people are putting out information that doesn't really coincide with some of the older information. How does society keep us trapped in a box? They feed information that is not in alignment with the truth. Therefore, they feed us lies. And because they feed us lies, we chew it up, we eat it up as if it's the truth, never going out there to get the information for ourselves. And so we take what they say as gospel, and then we never go find it for ourselves. So please, 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 I will beg you, if there is knowledge that we put out and you find that it is not true, give us the information on where you got it from, because I'm not taking your word just because you have, I don't care how many degrees you have. I don't care how many schools you went to. I don't care how much money you paid for that piece of paper you paid for. If there's no book or no sound information, and I don't want one piece of paper or one little sentence, I want sound information. Please feed it to us. And I will take and I will read the knowledge, and I will open-mindedly access it, because I'm not a closed-minded person. My mind is wide open. Wide open space.
Yes, please do. Please do. That gets a conversation started. Now we exchange perspectives. Now
it helps us.
Yeah, it does. It helps us. Like we're telling you here, we're still learning right now. You never stop learning, okay? You never stop learning in this little game called what's this? Life.
Life.
Yes.
Go buy it. You can get it at Walmart, Target, the bookstore, probably Barnes and Nobles. You can find Life on Amazon. Play it.
You can.
Play it.
Yes.
Don't get me wrong. It's the superficial level. If you want to go deep, and I'm not talking about one step down. I think I'm like, I done dug a whole hole for myself, and I love it. But if you find that our information is off, or that is not hidden right, and you have information that actually sets the record straight, then send it to us and I will read it, purchase it, buy it, do what I need to. But if it's just one sentence that says such and such in one book and there's no elaboration, I'm going to send you a message back telling you you're going to have to come deeper than this, because I need for the handshakes. I need the handshakes.
We up, sister.
I'm saying people don't really understand what it's like to have an air mind in Aquarius. You see what I'm saying? It's not just about you telling me something and I'm buying it. I'm not. Yeah. But I do see where society wants to keep most of us in a box. Yeah. And a lot of the information that's being put out there for certain things, we'll get into other ones later. Yeah. But I see where it's conflicting.
Very much so. Mm-hmm. Very much so, sis. I can see it.
And you know me, if I think something's going to conflict, I'll tell you, hey, there might not be a handshake between this. I haven't been able to find it, but I am still searching unless I get exhausted. If I read 5 to 10 books and they're all saying the same thing, and I'm looking for a slight handshake in another book, I'm not going to find the needle in a haystack until it's time for it to be revealed.
Very much so. Very much so. But you're equally put in that same search, Who knows? We may all have different perspectives, but these perspectives work for us. Hey, did you know? Da, 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 da. Like I was telling sis, about a video I was watching, and they had a different perspective on something, that we always talk about, which is, the ego. We'll dive into that some other time. But we started, having discussion back and forth on, why their perspective was this and that. So it just opened up a whole nother conversation of looking at a different view of things.
Yeah, and I went and pulled out a whole bunch of books, and I was like, okay, logically speaking, when you're teaching somebody this, are you teaching them sound information? Are you teaching them stuff that you didn't read over and over again to make sure that the information was sound? You just said...
Now, I don't mean to cut you off, love. Did I cut you off? No, okay, so what about, because I've heard this response before.
Yes.
How some say they go within and it's knowledge that they've retrieved internally. You know how they say some knowledge is just internal knowledge that you can't put in a book. What if that is the response that you would receive?
I'll say, okay, as long as it works for you. But then I'm going to ask them, where does your Mercury set?
Okay.
Because all I need to know is where your Mercury sets.
Okay.
That's how you think and communicate. So, where's your Mercury set? And if your Mercury and your Sun are setting in different places, I'm just going to say, okay, but I know for myself.
Okay. That's a good point. That's a good answer. Good answer, sister. Because you said, oh, okay.
So I'm not here to argue with nobody.
Yeah. But I've noticed that there have been some who would say, this is just internal information that I tapped into. Because, of course, they've done the work, or continuing to, I guess. I can't speak for them. But, just hearing their story, how they do the work and practice to tap in to even retrieve that knowledge, I can see that as well. Okay, well, you got that internal information. And
there's also
information for them to understand, like you say.
There's also, you can see, and like you say, that's internal, but sometimes you can see when a person is feeding you
BS.
There you go.
Yeah.
And so and that's why I said spirituality, the internal, the external, the this, that, or the other. A lot of times people do use that, but if something resonates with you truthfully. So if you're using a scapegoat of, it's an internal understanding, or, I got this from here, or, this or that, the other, I'll just be like, okay, well, what are your birth chart placements? And then that'll tell me if this person is are you capable of doing this, first of all, because we're not all capable of doing certain things at a certain period of time. You see what I'm saying? Although one person on the planet can have it, we can all have it. But your planets do different things in different places. And so all I have to do is go look and say, okay, well, if I don't feel it sound for me, I'm happy that you got that information. I hope it works for you. And it works in your favor.
Yeah.
Because their life is not about mine.
Very much so.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But don't come back to me later and be like, because I'm gonna be looking at them like, you said you got that download or that information that just came down to you, and now you're coming to me for clarity. Okay. Everybody's not psychic.
Okay.
Although you can tap into that every now and again, you're not going to be psychic every day. Like everybody shouldn't be reading tarot cards.
I'm just going to smile and look pretty.
I mean, it's true. My question was,
I love it. I love your honesty.
Well, my Mercury sits at 0 degrees Aquarius.
We talk about this all the time. Oh.
I'm just going to tell it the way it is, but that doesn't mean that there won't be conflicting information out there. The conflicting information that's out there, sometimes I feel is to keep people patternized in society.
Yeah, in that box, like you said, it says in the box.
Yes, and my job is to just give you an understanding to just think a little bit differently. I don't care if you change your life or not. You know, I don't really care if a person uses human design or not, if they're on a spiritual path or not. Just think a little bit differently. Change the way you think. If something isn't working in your life, sit down and say, what can I do to change it? Whether it's spiritual, biblical, you know, whether it's whatever religion, because I'm not going to name them all. Whatever you believe in, if it's not working, then change your thought process.
Start with you. Yeah. Yeah.
If it's working, keep doing it. I'm not here to change if it's working for you.
Ashe, you are the commander of your own spaceship, okay? Commander of your own spaceship. So, commander of the spaceship, what do you want for you? Do you understand you? How do you function? Do you even sit down and have a conversation with you? Have you had that you conference where you have little you know, you preteen and you young adult, you in your mid 30s, wherever age you at? Have you ever sat down and had a conference with you? These are some good activities you can do for root grounding work, by the way, sister. This is good because you can sit at a little round table with you. Use your imagination as you will, okay? And just have those conversations with you. What do I want for me?
Or does it even matter? Because none of this matters at the end of the day.
She said, and what did you ask at our last conference talk? What is the point?
What's the point?
What is the point? Sister still wants that answer. She don't want no mediocre answer either, because
what's the point?
I don't know that already.
I just sat and I done thought about it over and over again.
Yeah,
we deconstruct ourselves from race, color, creed, countries, language, hair type, eye type, everything we can. But we're all here in this one sphere called Earth. You see what I'm saying? Breathing the same air, using the toilet, putting on clothes and shoes and this and that and other, eating food.
Yeah.
And we still can't seem to understand that we're all in one house. When are we going to unify ourselves and stop looking at ourselves in a way of saying, well, because you're different or you do something different, you're not like me, I can't like you. Make that make sense.
It ain't the time.
You're too dark, so I can't be your friend. Huh? You don't speak my language, so we can't communicate. Stop talking.
And you know what?
Just be energetically.
Them people right there that be like that, I just leave them where they at, sister. I just leave them where they at, sister.
But if we want to be able to cohabitate in this dome, we need to stop thinking so superficial. It's not about how much money you have. The earth grows food freely.
By the way, sis, I restarted my plants. Remember I said I restarted them? They are sprouting, okay? Already sprouting. Got one shooting straight up.
I met another Aquarius here who actually grows in her backyard.
Love it.
She started following us a while ago. I ran into her the other day. Shout out to Dev if she picks this up and watches it. She has great insight on growing and how to do so in a way so that people can eat.
Ooh, sound like a conscious talk segment to me.
Because why are we starving?
Should not be. Should not be.
Why are we homeless?
Read.
You see what I'm saying? This just doesn't make sense that we allowed somebody, and I'm going to say this, we allowed the weaklings to get on top. to control things in our lives that nobody should have control over.
I say
So until somebody can make it make sense for me, I'm going to forever ask what's the daggone point.
And again, no mediocre answers.
Please don't come superficial.
Yes.
My mind won't grasp it.
Yeah, these be the topics of discussions. We have really more. Such an amazing topics of discussions. But I do love that idea one day, if she's open, to having a, conscious talk on how to grow food for people. And,
Of course.
it's giving like a community type of vibe here. And, maybe we should start there, if we're putting this out, let's start there let's get her on here. Let's get her to share that wisdom and knowledge so that when it gets out there, our viewers can see they got the wisdom, they got the knowledge. Now they can, source it themselves. Let's start there. If we all grow food in our backyard, we got more than enough for one another. We really do. Even those that, we see on the side of the road, we got more than enough to just give them a basket of food.
It's only if they're hungry.
It's only if they're hungry.
Not all of us asking for food.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm sorry. I'm just putting it out there. I do know they're not all asking for food.
She's being honest. That's all. Just being honest. Hey, we're conscious talk here. Come on. You're being realistic. I get it. But you get my concept. If we all grow food in our backyard, we have more than enough to eat. So let's start there. I can see that. I could definitely see that. I would definitely love to have her on here.
I'll reach out.
Okay. Awesome. Well, sister, did you have anything else you want to say?
Mm-mm.
Okay. No. Okay, family. Well, that is all for us on this segment of Conscious Talk. Before I leave up out of here, I do want to share with you the meditation that I mentioned earlier, to relax you and make you feel more grounded to your root chakra. When you're meditating, I want you to think of the color red. Think of it as a loving, glowing, soft sphere, pulsating, illuminating this beautiful energy, this flowing energy of water. As you go, however you want to view it, that makes you feel good. You're watering your roots, okay? Now your roots is now starting to form, and you can feel the roots coming from earth all the way attaching to your roots. Now you're grounding, okay? Try that just for like 5 minutes, however it takes. Try that. I'm telling you, it feels really nice. And until then, family, find your light and then fix your crown, family. Peace.
We